Yo, what's good, my fellow deadheads? Your overlord has returned, back with yet another JJK Phantom Parade video. Today we are going to be talking about what we could possibly be seeing for the second anniversary characters, or not the second anniversary, the sync celebration is what I'll call it. The first anniversary for the global version and the second anniversary for the Japanese version, because the games are practically a year apart. Maybe not a year and 2 weeks, but maybe 50 weeks instead of 54 weeks apart. I think the games are. So I believe that the global version and the Japanese version are going to be on a sync celebration. It just makes a lot of sense because of how fast they are trekking along in the global version of the game. We quite literally just got the end of the 1.5 celebration in the JP version, and we literally have that celebration already started in the global version of the game. We are practically right here in the game for updates, for content, for campaigns, for characters, except for the fact that we definitely have skipped over Takumo Ino, which is one character that people are, I guess, excited about. Comment down below and let me know if you're excited about Ino. But we're going to talk today about what I think we could see for the second anniversary characters, and just what the hype is and who could be replaced, just anything of that nature. But if you guys do like speculatory videos like this, you can go down below, you can hit the like button, you can hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified every single time the Dead Man decides to glide, and you can also comment down below and let me know what you want to know. But guys, these speculations, these guesses for characters today are going to be A1 God tier. I literally have the Gojo Honored One glasses on right now because my guesses are that good as to what we can see for the celebration. And I even had this like stroke of genius earlier, so I wrote them down. I got myself a list. Let's get it over here and let's go ahead and run through the characters. Alright guys, I have gathered or compiled a couple of pictures here of different characters who I believe we could see as our first anniversary sync celebration characters. These characters are the absolute peak of hype, I feel like, for JJK. Or maybe even not the absolute peak of hype, but like they're just really cool characters, and some of them would be like little curveballs that could be thrown at us. I have like the full celebration like lineup type of thing in my head too, because we like to get a first half character, a second half character, and then a third part character and they all get their own little celebration, or not celebration. They all get their own mission, like event, right? So like a story event, a map event, and then another story event. So I just have some ideas about some of the characters that we could see during this celebration, but yeah, let's go ahead and just get to it. For my first idea, I have a celebration that is centered around, because you got to think, by the time that the second year or the sync celebration anniversary comes around, we will probably already be completely through the Shibuya incident, like right at the end of the Shibuya incident, more than likely, and the peak of all of the things that happened in the Shibuya incident will probably be what has already gone on in the story. We'll probably be moving to the point after the Shibuya incident, right? So right at the end of the Shibuya incident, exactly where season 2 ended, where you see all of the things that happen as a result of the Shibuya incident, where it's like, okay, act number 1, this happens, number 2, this happens, number 3, this happens, number 4, this happens, number 5, this happens, right? All of those things. That could be where we are at for the sync celebration. I finally said it this time instead of second or first anniversary, but that's what we can see for the sync celebration, right? And for the first character that we can see for that, we can see a Gojo, right, who does his domain, but not like domain expansion Gojo, more so a Gojo from the tunnel in the whenever Mahito and Jogo and Chozo are all getting like thrashed by him, or Gojo's trying to thrash them. And also, who else? Hanami is already like cooked at this point. We can see an animation where Gojo like has an AoE where he walks the enemies down, and he has like that aura around him from infinity, and he literally like smears the enemy, whatever, right? Then we could also see another animation where Gojo kind of has like that crazy animation where he jumps on your face, and he grabbed Mahito's like antlers or something like that. He could let off an attack in your face or something crazy like that, like punching your face. I don't know, something of that nature. But that was just a really sick moment during the Shibuya incident, and I think that it needs to be capitalized upon in a character. Like the domain expansion Gojo that we have right now in the game is cool, but I feel like we're in an era now where they are trying to capitalize more on the animation, specifically from a specific part, from a specific moment. That's why they're starting to give us characters that have like kind of like cutscenes behind them, or not cutscenes, but like backgrounds behind them for their character arts and stuff like that. So I just feel like it would be really cool to incorporate a Gojo, and he kind of like encompasses everything Gojo did in the Shibuya incident before he got sealed away in the box. His ultimate can literally be like he can do like his 0.2 second domain expansion, right? Then he can literally dash you and do a bunch of different like just single target attacks, or not single target attacks, but like an attacks that hit the entire like enemy board, because it's like the scene from the anime where Gojo does the 0.2 millisecond domain expansion, and then he runs out and he just starts killing all of the cursed spirits so that they can't kill any of the humans. But if you look at Gojo's domain in the game, I don't think it actually says 0.2 millisecond infinite void. It literally just says infinite void. So technically that Gojo is not a character in the game, and Gojo uses his domain before the Shibuya incident anyway. He used it to literally show Yuji how domains work. Yes, and I'm literally looking at his domain expansion right now. It is just called Unlimited Void, so it is not called like 0.2 millisecond infinite void or something like that. They could definitely make a new Gojo that has a like, his whole gimmick is that he has like a, like they call him like a new breakthrough, a new awakening Gojo or something like that, right? And he has a 0.2 millisecond thing, and then he has a really crazy single target attack afterwards. But let's go ahead and move on to the character that will be for the second part. So for the second part, I'm thinking that it can probably be like finally a Kenjaku unit, because we know that one, during the Shibuya incident, Kenjaku is the reason why Gojo is sealed away in the box. Two, Kenjaku at the end of the Shibuya incident is the one who ate Yuji's W away from him, because Yuji was finally going to body Mahito, and Kenjaku ran up and literally snatched Mahito away because he has his cursed spirit eating cursed, what is it called? I forgot what it's called. Cursed object control or whatever. Cursed spirit control, I think is what it's called. But basically, cursed spirit manipulation is what it is. And we could finally get a finally get a Kenjaku in the game. And he could even have like Mahito's Uzumaki he could have an Uzumaki with Mahito in it as his ultimate, or he could have an Uzumaki with and the Uzumaki could literally just deal type advantage damage to anybody because Mahito is a part of it. Like just little things like that, right? So I think that we could see a Kenjaku and a Gojo, and I think that Kenjaku is I don't know that Kenjaku is a actual just like curse that is naturally occurring. I think that he is a full flesh curse, kind of like Sukuna in that regard, where Sukuna is a human but he turned himself into a curse. I think Kenjaku might be the same case, and he's just been kind of like doing his brain transference thing on a bunch of different bodies throughout time. So he would definitely make sense for a character who comes on a banner, and would not be a character who comes in the the Phantom Metal shop, right? Then just a random little curveball for somebody who they could throw for the third part after having such a crazy heavy hitter as 0.2 millisecond domain Gojo, and having freaking Kenjaku finally first appearance in the game, right? Who would be the third character that would be absolutely cracked, that could absolutely like break the game, break the internet, and still be just as equal to these two, if not more cracked? It would literally be the king of aura farmers himself, Toji. But it would be like a zombie Toji, right? So he could have the Playful Cloud that is like literally scraped up like sharp version of Playful Cloud, right? Just to make himself a little bit different. And he could have combos with Playful Cloud in it, obviously, because he was using Playful Cloud whenever he bodied the shit out of Dagon. Let's put this picture up. The picture's a lot more enjoyable, right? But we could have this Toji come back in the game. And this could be kind of like how we had for the 1.5 celebration even. We had a young Shoko and a young Nanami, when in all reality, they didn't really do anything in the anime that was like notable or memorable. Like, yes, the Shoko is completely based off of the fact that Shoko figured out what reverse curse energy is, and she literally is a replay of the moment where she explains that, but like, that is not battle mechanics or anything of that nature. So it's just like, they are willing to put extra animations if they need to on these characters who we did not even see do anything hype during the anime, and we literally saw Toji do a bunch of hype shit during the anime. So that is my first dream lineup for the second anniversary or for the Sync celebration, right? I'll get it down one of these days, guys, but that is how we're looking. Gojo from the train tunnel, who does his 0.2 millisecond domain expansion. Then we could get a Kenjaku, since Kenjaku is the reason why Gojo got sealed, and Kenjaku did the crazy shit of stealing Mahito at the end of the Shibuya incident. And then also we could see a Toji zombie. I almost mixed those two words together, but yes, a Toji zombie at the end of the celebration, just to maximize the full hype of everything going on, because I think that not only will we see crazy characters, we will also see newer event styles that we've never seen before, just because the two versions are synced and they're finally on a same schedule. Not really, because they still have to catch up things in the global version and add things to the JP version, but basically everything from that point on that's going to release will be on the same schedule. Now we're going to go ahead and jump over to my next lineup of characters for the next dream celebration that we can see for the 2nd anniversary. Now guys, I don't have any like background extra information saying that any of this stuff is confirmed, verified, true, or anything of that nature. This is literally just all my own speculation based on where I think we will be at in the story. So if you guys like these points and you can see these things happening, then definitely go down below and leave a like on the video and subscribe, just because, you know, I've been cooking up on these ideas. Like, bro, I be at work all day just thinking about my YouTube videos, just like, yo, as soon as I go home, I'm hitting this topic. Like, it's done for, it's dead, done deal. I do not care. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the next dream celebration lineup here. So next up, what I'm thinking is we could see a wolf Yuji, right? And it could be like a Yuji that specifically has the imagery of the white wolves, because you remember when Yuji was finally going to defeat Mahito, we literally had all of the white wolves, and the white wolf in the end that led the pack was literally Yuji. And it's just a lot of crazy imagery in this fight, and it will be a really hype moment to capitalize on in the game itself. Also, you know, the last Yuji that came out was for the 1st anniversary on the JP side, right? So that would mean that it will be an entire year since a Yuji has dropped. If they dropped a new Yuji for the 2nd anniversary, which Yuji is the main character of the show, so it makes 100% sense that Yuji would be the 2nd anniversary character as well, because they have already kind of set a precedent where they drop 3 anniversary characters anyway. So we can definitely work Yuji in there as the 2nd anniversary character somewhere, and then still drop two other characters who are equally as hype for the 1st anniversary at all. Okay, cool. Glad we talked about Wolf Yuji. Next character that I would say could be the 3rd character would be Todo, because we still to this day do not have a good Todo in game, which is absolutely insane to me. Todo is one of the greatest characters, one of the strongest characters in Jujutsu Kaisen, and he is one of the craziest anime characters, where in anime you lose your arm and you get nerfed a great deal. If you look at One Piece, right, Mihawk used to spar with Shanks. You learn this as like background. Mihawk used to spar with Shanks. They used to be sparring partners. Once Shanks lost his arm, Mihawk was like, oh, I don't even want to fight you anymore. It's like a ultimate curse in anime to lose your arm and you're automatically just nerfed. You're automatically just not as strong as you were, and people just want nothing to do with you. But it is crazy to me that Todo lost his arm during the Shibuya incident and became stronger. I will leave that where it is. I will not spoil any manga stuff for my anime onlys out there. But Todo is literally quite an incredible character. And if you think about it, he is the best support system that Yuji has. Every time Yuji is down in the dumps and he's like, yo, fuck this shit. I'm over this shit. I can't do this shit. You know, Todo somehow spawns in like, yo, let's get it. Like when Todo comes on screen, you know that the curse that Yuji is fighting is about to die. That's how Todo is as a character. So it makes no sense to me that we do not have a Todo at all who is not cracked yet. The red Todo is whatever, and I do want to work on him, max him out, and use the best friend buff and see how crazy I can make other characters. But like, even still, that is just a gimmick. Todo is still way more cracked than just a gimmick in the show. This man is a all-around powerhouse. Then we can finally see like a ultimate support Todo, who's like the ultimate physical support or something like that, right? Because or maybe not even the ultimate physical support, just like the ultimate Yuji support, or maybe he's the ultimate support for like the unit behind him or anything like that, because he always pulls up to be beside Yuji whenever Yuji is in battle. So I would definitely be down to finally see the first good Todo in game. And the third character, the third part of the celebration, would literally be 100% or 120% Mahito, or true form Mahito. What is it? The perfect embodiment of murder or carnage or destruction or something like that, Mahito. That would be really cool to me, just because he's just another form of Mahito. You know what I'm saying? It'd be another. I like when cursed spirits come out in the game. It's really cool because it's so far and few in between. So cursed spirits feel like almost like festival level characters in their own right, even though all of them are free to play characters, because they're just all so cool. They all have their own gimmicks, their own quirks, right? But also it will be interesting to see Mahito come out on a banner too, because they would officially break the mold of curses, fully materialized, fully manifested curses. I guess I'm gonna call them full true curses, disaster curses. It would be cool to finally see them enter the banner scene so they can make them even more cracked than they already are now. Because like Dagon came out and Dagon's ass, I heard Dagon is absolute butt cheeks, but that is a different video for another time. It would be cool for them to break the mold, but then also, since they do that, that would mean that they would not have to put curses, full-fledged curses in the Phantom Metal shop. So then it's like, is that something that we really want as a player base? But that is it for that idea. We are now moving on to my third idea, and my third idea is it's a little out there, it's a little crazy, but we will go ahead and give it a shot. Let's go. I know that somebody who has been watching this video, and the entire time they were watching this video, they have been looking at this like, yo, how has this man not mentioned Sukuna yet? How have we not mentioned Sukuna from the Shibuya incident? Because once again, we cannot say that Sukuna is the one from the Shibuya incident that's currently in the game, because that one has access to Fuga, which we know is like Sukuna's like fire arrow type of move, or not even a flaming arrow, but just like a blast of an intense release of heat is what we'll call it. So the Sukuna that's currently in the game just has its domain expansion, but Fuga is such an interesting skill, such a really cool skill that people want to get their hands on, people want to use in the game, and that definitely screams hype for the first anniversary. So I have no doubt in my mind that we could see a 15-finger Sukuna who has access to Fuga. And I'm trying to make sure that all the stuff that I'm saying is things from the actual anime. Nothing is being actually spoiled or anything of that nature. But yes, 15-finger Sukuna, Fuga. It's not really much that I can say about this. It's just Sukuna. We got Sukuna at the level that he was already at right now in the game, and he's still like, he's good, but I think he's already relegated to just being a regular DPS on the blue team. I think that if an event, like with floors 61 through 80 releasing, I think that any event that has like blue is not the type advantage, and especially anything that has blue as a type disadvantage, I think at that point you are absolutely cooked, and Sukuna's probably going to die pretty early just because he's not super tanky. Now, he does have this strong passive, and if you have him A5, mine is proven to be a bit tanky, but even still, everybody is not in the A5 scenario. So I think that we could see another Sukuna, and I think he can replace Sukuna, whether he be the same color or he be a different color on a different team, because they want to start overpowering another team, another color. Who will be the second unit for this celebration, the second part unit? Second part unit would be none other than that boy Maharaga, or as the anime said in that one weird happenstance, Makora, whatever. But Maharaga, I think, is certainly hype enough to warrant a character of his own. I see it all over Twitter whenever I'm in streams, like whenever I'm watching Lord Slug stream, or whenever I'm streaming. I feel like people are always talking about, yo, we can finally see Maharaga for this, we can finally see Maharaga for this. So I feel like Maharaga is certainly a unit that people would really love to see come out into the game. And it was just such a crazy fight with him v Sukuna, and Sukuna literally doing Fuga, like he had to do Fuga. That Maharaga was the reason why Fuga was revealed to us. So, no. I think, was Jogo the reason why Fuga was revealed to us, and then Maharaga was the reason why Sukuna had to use it again? I think that's how it was, or did the Maharaga v... No, I don't think Maharaga v Sukuna happened first. I'm pretty sure it was Maharaga, or I'm pretty sure it was Sukuna v Jogo first, then Maharaga v Sukuna. That way we were kind of expecting the Fuga to come at the end of the fight, versus, you know, not seeing it at all, and that'd be our first introduction to it, because man, did it destroy, did it decimate fucking Shibuya. But yes, if we have Fuga Sukuna, then we could obviously see a Maharaga on the other side of that unit, or they could make it a Fushiguro if they wanted to, and finally do the first like kind of like swapping unit or transformation or entrance animation type of unit where like the entrance animation is Fushiguro, but then Fushiguro like gets bodied, gets hit by Maharaga, and then Maharaga comes out and takes control for the entrance animation. Just be really cool. I don't think that you would be able to run him on a team. Well, you wouldn't be able to run him on a team with other Fushiguros, right? I don't think it would hurt anything because there's not another Maharaga in the game, and it'd just be a cool thing to go ahead and add into the game, to implement into the game, so that we know that they would do something like that later. But let's go ahead and go over to the third part unit for who would be hype enough or just oddball enough or out there enough to be a third part unit. Now this is going to sound absolutely crazy, chat, but I think that Kusakabe is a really crazy candidate for a character just because we literally have not seen a Kusakabe in the game at all yet. And Kusakabe, I feel like, is a very maybe I'm just glazing, but I feel like Kusakabe would be a popular character just because Kusakabe is a super chill dude, and he's like really smart, and he's the strongest grade 1 sorcerer, is he not, without having an innate curse technique. So he definitely is cracked in a lot of different regards, and there's some manga things that also let you know that Kusakabe is cracked. So I feel like maybe Kusakabe is a little more popular than people are expecting, and we could just see him as a third part unit, just as a curveball, just to like throw us off, just so we would never be able to guess. Because I can't front of you, they really do like to do that. Like in the first celebration, we didn't really have a precedent knowing that there was going to be a third unit, so we didn't know that Sukuna was coming. Okay, cool. Then you get to the second celebration, and everybody's over here like, okay, maybe we're getting a Gato, maybe we're getting a new Toji. Nobody expected at all to be getting a young Nanami, right? So who would expect to get a Kusakabe at all for any part of any anniversary ever? And he could be a crazy kind of like counter character that could provide a simple domain or barrier for your entire team or something like that. And they could add in a new domain type of raid battle. And hey, shout out to old Deadman, because I'm pretty sure I did a video talking about features they could add into the game, and I'm pretty sure that adding domain style battles was one of those things that they could add on. It could be like the next level to, like, you know, formidable battle events. But yes, I think Kusakabe would definitely be a crazy little curveball that nobody would be expecting, and it would be just really cool. But I have one more lineup for characters, and honestly, it's not really that different of a lineup than one I've already done. It's just one extra character in there and a little twist to how the characters are lining up in this celebration that I'm planning out. But let's go ahead and get over to the fourth style celebration that I think we could see. So this one is absolutely headcanon. So we could see, instead of a Yuji that is like the wolf Yuji, or we still could see a wolf Yuji for this, right? We could see like a wolf Yuji, or we could see a 120% Yuji and a 120% Todo, and they work like really well together, but they don't have to work together. You know what I'm saying, right? They could be very good in tandem on the same team, but they do not necessarily have to work together. Like Todo could be a really crazy buffer, Yuji could be a really crazy DPS. They could work really insane together, but also Yuji could be a really good DPS on other teams. Todo could be a really good buffer in general for other teams, right? But then you can see Mahito not as the third part unit, but Mahito as a Phantom Metal unit. We could finally get a new Phantom Metal shop unit, and it could be Mahito, and it could be Mahito in his 120% form, or Mahito in his true form, idle transfiguration, embodiment of perfect murder, whatever the fuck it's called, right? We could finally see that as a coin shop character instead. And then who would be the third part character then if we get Mahito as a coin shop character and these two as brand new characters on banners? Because guys, you have to think, this is the first sync celebration. I feel like the whoa wait before you buy videos, but this could be the first sync celebration has to absolutely go harder than any other celebration that we have had in the game thus far, because all the other celebrations were literally so weak that they were willing to move them around the global version and put them wherever, and didn't even care about giving us time and space to grind up in the regular amount of time you would have for an anniversary. So what would the sync celebration have for us? We could finally see four new characters in one celebration instead of just 3 new characters in one celebration. 2, a part 1 and a part 2, a coin shop unit, and then also a third part unit. And who would the third part unit be? Yuta. It could literally just be Yuta at the end of the Shibuya incident, because we know in the list of orders that were given at the end of the Shibuya incident, there were a lot of new things established, but the one thing at the end that was established after everything else is that Yuta is supposed to be the executioner of Yuji Itadori, right? So Yuta definitely plays a part in the Shibuya incident, and even though they kind of tried to keep it kind of somewhat suspenseful at the end of the Shibuya incident in the anime. I'm pretty sure they already talked about Yuta at the end of the anime. I do not know if they showed him just yet, but he will certainly be there. Well, honestly, these are anime pictures that I'm looking at right here, so I mean, he has to be there in the anime. So we could just see a Yuta at the end of the Shibuya incident, because Yuta is definitely going to be integral in the story from this point on. But guys, that all together is going to be my speculation on characters that we could see for the second anniversary or for the Sync celebration. I will one of these days get it right every time I call it, but these are characters that I think we could see for the Sync celebration. If you guys do agree with any of this down below, go down in the comments and let me know what you want to know. But also, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell, and you can also hit the like button, just because the dead man put a lot of thought into this, and I don't know, I think it's really cool to go ahead and speculate on the anniversary, considering that it'll be here in 3 months and 3 weeks, 3 months and 4 weeks, 3 months and 25 days. Let's say that. That's, I think, is the more exact number. But I think, again, it's going to be a really fun time, a really great time. And they're already doing things during the celebrations now in the game to make the game more playable during the anniversaries. So the games could definitely become even more playable in general after this anniversary in particular. But again, guys, let me know what you think down below in the comments. That's going to be it for your boy, DEADMANVINCE, signing out. Peace.